let me talk about a few things here because there are a lot of people in this spread. So we have air sign, water signs, fire sign, all converging. So we have like all these three court cards, right? This is the Knight of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Swords, and it's all converging here on the Devil. It's all converging. They're all looking in the same direction. So, Virgos, here's what I'm feeling. There is a pot of money. There's like a fixed amount, a pot of money, and it seems to me like it can be very big as well. Because the Devil, when I'm looking at this, it's almost like materialism at its worst. Because I feel like there is a fixed pot of money. You're looking at something. You're looking at this fixed pot. And on the one hand, you're just like, how do I allocate? You know, so you might be in a position where you're handling or dealing with estate issues or dealing with an inheritance or dealing with something where you might be the executor of an estate or a person in charge of a trust. And so you're just like, okay, I have this fixed pot. Everybody wants a piece of it. Everybody's coming in with ideas, with plans. And some people are very straightforward and honest. And, you know, they're just like, we should do this. We should open a business. We should do something that, you know, adds value, allows the pot of gold to, you know, build. So like investment opportunities. And they're coming to you and they're just like, you should do this. You should get on board with me. And then others, I feel like they feel a little bit entitled to it. So they might say like, I want what's mine. I want what you owe me. And I feel as if they might lawyer up. They might, you know, seek legal counsel on their own in order to get you to give them whatever it is that they feel that, you know, they owe you. And then for others, I feel like they want to better their own lives. They want to just, you know, have a better life and to be self-sufficient. And so they're just like, if you give me this loan, if you give me this amount, you know, I can get my life better. And so I feel like you're dealing with a myriad of people and it can feel a little bit restricting. And I do sense for many of you, this is a family issue. This is a family members coming together, converging upon some major event that has just happened. And they're just like, even though they're going in different directions, they're very clear when they communicate and they're communicating to you about what they want. And so at the center of it, you find yourself in this space with the Devil, dealing with people who might have, you know, that sense of materialism, that sense of entitlement, that sense of like, I want what's owed to me. And then at the same time, their expectations, it's like bearing upon you. It's like they're expecting you so much of you. And you're just like, I don't really know if this is a good place for me to be. It seems like very restrictive. It seems very confining. And that's not how you operate. And so on the one hand, you know, you can take care of your own responsibilities, but if there are people constantly watching over your shoulders to make sure that things are done a specific way, it's really difficult for you. And I do feel like this is an energy that you need to break away from. And so that sense of like, you know, feeling a little bit claustrophobic in the household, it's very crucial for you to not back down from this, but really stand your ground, okay? Because you have some really strong characters coming through. And they don't seem like they are conniving and, you know, deceptive. They don't feel to me like they're conniving and deceptive, but it just feels like the demands, you know, they're very clear about what they want. And so if you can't give them what they want, I feel like it's going to be challenging from your end. So that's the first thing that I'm seeing. Feeling as if there's a lot of people placing demands on you and you're not really sure who to trust. You're not really sure which way to go. And you're not really sure because like, it seems like they have, you know, different interests. They have different ways of doing things. So in the process of pleasing one person, the other person is going to get upset. And then in the process of pleasing this other person, the other two people might get upset. So you're trying to figure out what to do. I feel like the advice for you, if you're in this predicament, legal counsel. So this is consulting somebody that can help, you see the forest for the trees, that can also advocate for you and like show you the best course of action to cover yourself legally or to cover yourself financially. Because you're in a space where you're operating from a place of like love and care and kindness and nurturing. And if you're giving your power away, if you're constantly doing things for other people, then I do feel it's going to be very challenging for you to, feel happy without feeling resentful. A lot of the times we do things for other people, and especially if it's unappreciated, if it's unreciprocated, and it's also unnoticed, it can make us feel very resentful as well. So I feel like just be aware of this, and don't make yourself, don't put yourself in a space where you feel like you're doing all of these things to please all the other people, and nothing is being done to please yourself, to take care of yourself, and to really make decisions for yourself. So this month, I feel like the constraints, the demands of situations and people around you, it could be family, it could be work. I'm seeing big family, big work vibe coming from you, where you feel as if, what about me? Don't you guys care what I want? And so taking charge of this, knowing that all the other people, they're operating from a different space, and you need to draw back your energy so that you can focus on yourself and what you want rather than constantly nurturing and caring for other people. It's not done in the spirit of selfishness, but I do feel the Mercury retrograde period has revealed more than anything to you guys that what really matters. You start to realize that life is really short, and you start to realize as well that in the process of taking care of everything, what is there that's left for you? And how have you given your power away to other people in situations that you didn't want to be in, but you still felt like you needed to handle it and you needed to take care of it? What I have here as well is the Page of Wands in the reverse. It's linked up with the King of Wands. So I usually think of this as a child, like a child that is physically your own child, or somebody that you're dealing with, possibly like a mother figure as well. And let me talk about this as a child first. We have here the Page of Wands. So this is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. And this is, I feel like a child for many of you. And then I also feel like a mother figure for many of you. It's linked up with the Empress card in the reverse position, okay? The Empress is the mother energy. It's somebody that is, let me talk about this first. Because I feel like this person, this Page of Wands, it's almost like the boy who cried wolf. Oh, I have all of these things that I need help with. Can you help me? I have all of these things that I need to take care of, and I can't take care of them. Can you help me? And it's somebody perpetually like asking for assistance. They might have issues when it comes to being independent, okay? And I feel like they're at a point where they're trying their best to be self-sufficient, to be independent. They might have a good job, they might have a good career, but for whatever reason this month, you're going to be hearing a lot of information about this person. And I feel like they're changing their life around. They're trying to change their life around, or they are changing their life around. But the way that they communicate is still a little bit problematic, okay? So if you're dealing with this person and you're not sure if you can trust them, I feel that you can trust them. In the past, they might have behaved in a way that is less than honorable, but they are changing their circumstances. They are coming into a place where they are self-sufficient, independent, and they're trying to change their life around. So I do feel, forgive and forget. And I also feel like don't look at the person that they were in the past, where they're just like distorting the truth. The boy who cried wolf. Look at them as they are right now, where they're trying to get things in order for their own life. They're trying to better themselves. Okay, so look at it as it is right now. And I feel like that can also help you learn to let go of the resentment from the past so that you can deal with this person, not in the spirit of helping, because I feel like he or she is already at a space where they can think and act and behave and, make better decisions. So think of that, okay? What I'm also feeling as well, for those of you who are dealing with this as a mother figure, we have here the Empress in the reverse. I'm going to be very blunt about this, okay? Because what this feels like to me is it's a woman that has not been shown a lot of love throughout her life. So she might be a little bit difficult. She might be a little bit on the bitter end. And she might also be, I want to say like, as picky as you are, Virgos, and as perfectionistic as you try to be, I feel like that sense of needing to achieve, needing to be perfectionistic, needing to do things in a perfect way. This energy is, this energy started at home. And I feel like you might have, a mother figure that is a little bit nitpicky, that where you feel like you spent your life trying to please. And when you grow, as an adult now, you grow up and you feel like, oh, I don't need to please her, but deep down you still care about her. And so I feel like there's going to be some demands when it comes to your mother. And I do sense as well, once again, do not look at her as, when you were growing up, how difficult she was, how unforgiving she was. Look at her as she is right now, where she's a little bit lonely, she's a little bit isolated, she is reaching out for love and affection, and her energy is softening up. She's starting to understand and realize a lot of bad things about herself that she has done in the past, and she's trying to make a change. So I do feel like you're heavily conflicted this month. On the one hand, and it's kind of like counter to the Capricorn reading in a way, because I mentioned with the Capricorn people, they know that people can be very good or very, very bad. And when they see people going astray, they understand that innately, all it takes is a good mentor, a good guide to steer people back on the right direction. You, on the other hand, you're exhibiting the more extreme spectrum of it, where you've seen people at their worst. And once, somebody has burned you too many times, you can't help but see them as the person they were in the past. And so it's really hard for you to forgive. It's really hard for you to to approach a situation with like a clean slate, with a fresh pair of eyes. And so I feel like one of the major things that we really want to look out for and be careful with the month of September is don't be stuck and chained to the past. Look at situations and people for the way that they are now, because you have people from your past coming back here. They want to show sympathy. They want to show love. They want to extend a gesture of goodwill, possibly reconciliation, possibly an apology. And they want to come in to try to make the situation better for you. And you have as well people, especially children or people that you have dealt with, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And this is somebody that is independent right now, and they see that you might need some assistance and they want to come in and help. And I also feel as well, letting go of this energy, starting over, having a clean slate with that solar eclipse, things were eclipsed out of your life that was no longer feasible for you. And especially things that might have, you might have struggled with, and you're just like, I don't know if this is the right way to go. I feel like that was a major revelation, a major eye-opening moment for you. And now after that revelation, you're trying to sort things out the best way that you know how. And I would say like the mixture of doing things out of love and the mixture of doing things out of, that sheer sense of practicality, that sheer sense of self-preservation, that's what you're really struggling with for this month. And I would just say, the advice here is don't look at that person as they were in the past. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them an opportunity for them to prove themselves. And when I said that, an opportunity for them to prove themselves, I feel like it means like you need to hold certain, not so much ultimatum, but certain guidelines. If you can do this, then I'll trust you with the next step, It's kind of like hold them accountable. So if you can show me this, then I'll show you this. So don't give them the blank slate or the clean slate, the white card. Give them incremental responsibility so that they can prove to you they're worthwhile and that they're trusting and that they have changed, okay? So let's just leave it at that because we have a cluster of people coming in and you don't know what to do with this energy because I feel like it's hitting you all at once. So that's just something I would advise for you, okay? I feel like a heavy energy here when it comes to children, your own child. And then I feel a heavy energy here as it relates to what do we do in a situation when we have total control over another person? When we have total dominion over another person? Do we try to, steer them the right way, or do we shower a bunch of love and affection on them and not hold them accountable? So that's a very similar message to Capricorn. So the first card that came out in this spread here is the Chariot in the reverse. The Chariot in the reverse is basically plans that are being stalled mainly because you need to take care of practical responsibilities, okay? So if you have been thinking about travel, if you have been thinking about like seeing people coming to even like traveling for retirement, there are going to be delays. So for those traveling this month, just anticipate that and, approach it with a sense of humor. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit frustrated. And I see as well some things that you need to take care of on your end, and especially when it comes to like health issues, as it comes to tempers flaring up, as it comes to like this sense of like, who do I trust? Who can I turn to? Emotionally, you might be in a state where you feel like you can't really affect the outcome. It's going to make you feel a little bit frustrated, okay? So the best thing is, take care of yourself, take care of your health. Travel, I feel like there's still residual travel delays for some of you. This is a card about working hard, knocking down responsibilities one by one, sending out resumes, sending out pieces of ourselves so that other people can examine us. So I feel some of you are applying for work. Some of you are also doing some type of real, I feel like estate planning. Signing all the papers that will transfer estate or property or assets and things like that, looking over portfolios, looking over things very, very carefully and trying to fix mistakes that other people have made as well. So this month, I feel like for Capricorn, the energy was very leisurely. They're just coasting. But I feel like for some of you guys, this is there's a lot of people and a lot of things that you're dealing with. And they're saying as well, there is a legal counselor, somebody that you're looking up to either for legal advice or for, I feel like for assistance. So you have a person, and I'm seeing a dark skin, I'm sorry, a dark haired person. So I don't know what skin color he or she might be, but I feel like a dark hair person, and they're helping you with they're like physically helping you fill out some paperwork. And I feel like the Mercury retrograde period might really interfere with your communications. It might also interfere with the way that you like your work to flow. It might interfere with the way you communicate and the way you express ideas. So this person is going to be pivotal in helping you shape your ideas and to achieve what you want and to break you away from these creative blockages, okay? So things look good overall, Virgos. I just feel like there's too many people here for it to be, completely calm and completely restful. So you need to carve out some time for yourself in order to fully rest and take care of of yourself, okay? Do some leisure activity, I feel. You don't need to have this many people crowding your space, okay?